So you have a thing for me? Yes, sir, I do. So you know how the internet loves Baby Yoda? What's baby yoga? Is that where little babies are standing on their heads and stuff? Because I don't think that's a good idea. You know little babies have soft skulls, right? No. Baby Yoda. Yoda. From The Mandalorian? How have you missed this, sir? It's literally everywhere. Well, I just thought the internet was for looking at cat videos. Oh, this is way cuter than cat videos. Here, sir, take a look at this. Wow. So yeah, I was thinking we should make one of our own. So we can make money off of this, right? No. But won't it be difficult to make them so cute? No, should be super easy. Yeah, it's gonna be hard as heck. Hey, I'm James. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on Baby Yoda's hands, ears, and body. It's going to be super quick. Body is super easy, barely an inconvenience, so we're just going to put that in time lapse. Everything else we'll look at a little bit in detail, though we still want to make this as quick as possible. In the end, we're just trying to move on to the clothes. So that's what this body is for. It's really to get the patterning the clothes down. That being said, oh yeah, Bobby Duke. If you don't know Bobby Duke, you're missing out. I'll put a link in the description below. Super artist. Anywho, let's get on with it. Okay, so here's the deal. His hands, because they're the things that are seen in the show, we want to pay attention to. The body has been just a quick run over. Now, I'm using Shavant. This is, well, it's a Japanese version of Shavant, and it's an industrial clay, and it looks like this. It comes in these big long tubes, made in Japan. Hey, that's the name of our sister channel, by the way. Made in Japan. Haven't put anything up there yet, but I will at some point. Matter of fact, we may move everything over there, or just rename this channel that. More on that later. So we're using a Japanese version of Shavant, which is an industrial clay, and it's a wax oil clay, and you heat it up to work. So this is in S60, which means it's a non-sulfur 60-degree clay. So when it gets to 60 degrees, so you stick it in the microwave and you run it up for 2 minutes, and it comes up to temperature and it turns basically into soup. And then you can puddle it on, which you just saw us do in the body. But then, as it cools down, it's hard as a brick, and that's great because it makes it really easy to work with. Now, the tools we're using are wooden paddle. There you go. Metal rake and pick and knife and everything kind of all into one. Metal loop tool. Round and angled, square kind of thing. Another metal loop, and this is a perfect circle. That makes for taking off a lot of material easy. This is a dental pick. That's really good to work with. It gets a lot of fine detail. This is a sculpting tool itself, but it's got a small paddle on one end for some detail and a rounded dental pick looking thing on the other end. Now, this is a tool that I made, but I talked about it in our last video. It is guitar wire of different grades, different thicknesses, in a brass tube. This is from Geek, and I'll put another link in the description below. But that makes sculpting super easy, barely an inconvenience. Next, we have a broad, soft, just a throwaway chip brush, and then really soft watercolor brush, and a kitchen sponge. Now, you make sure you get the one with the kind of rough side, the scouring side, and the soft side. So these are what we're working with here, and it makes everything super easy and super effective. Okay, so anyway, put a towel down, keep his little butt in the back of his head padded. We're gonna be working on his hands. His hands need some attention because that's the only part that we see come out of his costume. And so we want to make sure that this is pretty and pristine. So we're gonna cover how to do that, and then we've got the basic form here, which is just, we just kind of laid that out. That's blocking stuff out. All you need to do, same way with the body, you just slather it on and kind of stick it into place. That doesn't need any explanation. What needs explanation then is, after that, how do you work the material to come out to be the exact shape that you want? And we want to smooth it out a little bit into a little bit more correct form. We want his hands to look kind of like a Ninja Turtle. Now, the fatty part of your fingers is in between your fingers, and then there's a ridge or a valley that follows your finger lines. But because he only has 2 fingers and a thumb, or something that's like a thumb, there's not a whole lot of fatty space. There'd be only one there, but that seems to be bendy, and we want to keep that hand as accurate to what's on screen as possible, but we also want it to look and move realistically, because we haven't seen what's on the screen close up yet. I haven't, at any rate. So we're going to smooth this out. I just keep talking. Good grief. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick in some kind of deep ridges here, or some deep valleys, and then we'll work that out with our Explorer tool, and then make sure we get these little wrinkles in the wrist as well. And we want to make sure that it lines up with the other one, so it's all good there. And just kind of go around and get it to be a little bit more organic and smooth, and not quite as blocky. And that's not difficult to do at all. But after you've got the kind of general smooth shape out, then we're going to work on like heavy details, because when I say heavy details, I should say dramatic details, I guess. These cuts in here need to be very defined, because as we start to smooth it out, they'll also smooth out. We just kind of scrape over them, and it will take away the outside form detail, and those deep cuts just kind of magically start to look like big, thick, heavy wrinkles, and that's what we want. And then, of course, we'll go in later and put in more. So you kind of look at your own hand as you're doing this, and then realize what parts need the wrinkles and the structure. Now this is a baby, and his hands are even his hands are cute. They're baby hands. They're just soft and chubby and round, and they don't really have a lot of, honestly, they don't seem to have a lot of detail in them, but we want to make it look like this creature could live, and they obviously did that for the sculpt, but we haven't seen a lot of it yet in the show. So we're going to be assuming a lot as we do this, at least until we get a close-up. So that smooths it out way too dramatically, but we want that for his hands, because his hands are supposed to be baby soft smooth, despite the fact that they have those wrinkles in them. And the torch being so hot will also heat up any spaces like this right here that you have under the clay, like when you were putting the clay down. If there was a bubble in the clay will turn soft, obviously, and then the air will pop right up. And you get a little hole there, and you need to fix that. And it's easy to fix. It will also turn it into more or less peanut butter. It's not so easy to work with, so you're going to have to wait for a few minutes to do finer detail, but it's a good chance to throw in some heavier work to get the right look that you want for some of the larger details. For instance, I want to dig out the fingernail spot, and it's soft enough to do that right there. Now, while it's still kind of wet or ultra soft from that, I'm going to hit it with the sponge again, the coarse side of the sponge, and it gives it a kind of a textured El Cheapo skin texture that we don't really want to be too heavy. Matter of fact, some of these finger wrinkles are way too heavy. Just because he's a baby. Alright, so there we are. It's good enough for government work. So on to the next step. Hope you enjoy what you saw. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe. Helps the channel. See you next time.